Justin Stone here from EliteBaseball.tv, and I'm going to go back to doing a mechanical section here today, just because we haven't done it in a while. And this is a question from a listener that asked me, when they do lessons, they often hear parents, players, talk about the early back dropping of a shoulder. That's a cue that goes back as long as baseball instruction goes back. We don't want to dip our shoulder. I don't want my back shoulder to collapse early. You're swinging up on the ball. And I want to clarify that for our listeners and viewers today. And we'll both be able to do it. If you're just listening to me in the car, you'll get a full understanding. But try to check out the video and see the illustration as well. You have to understand that the back shoulder has to drop in every swing in order to get you on plane with the pitch. Now, players that don't dip their back shoulder at any point actually pull themselves out of good posture and pull their bat out of the hitting zone early. But what you'll often see with that cue of, hey, keep your back shoulder level, or stay downhill in an attacking posture, or you're dropping your back shoulder early, simply what that means is we're out of sequence and we lack scapular resistance. The first thing I do is I go back and look at a player's tempo. Are they simply going too fast in the load stride process where they run out of time and can't get in an efficient upper body load? That's where the elbow is going to elevate and pull back, flexing the muscles around the scapula and pinching them to the spine. Remember, this is the mechanism that keeps the front shoulder closed. So if I lack that scapular resistance that we call a scapular load, then what's going to happen is the rear elbow is going to collapse early, dropping the back shoulder early. And this is happening before the stride foot hits the ground, and means the upper body or torso begins to rotate early off of the ball. When this happens, we're powering the swing from the upper body versus using the kinetic energy from the legs and the ground up through the core and out the bat. So in order for us to sequence the swing with our lower body, the strongest muscles first have to maintain our scap load while the lower body starts its drive. Then, and we get into more advanced instruction here, now we see how the body efficiently uses the core and rotates in an efficient manner to attack from underneath the baseball. We know now that we're trying to get on plane with the pitch. And the height of the pitch will determine the amount the torso is going to tilt in order to get me on plane with that ball. The higher the ball, oftentimes you'll see me a little bit more upright in my posture. The inside shoulder is always going to tilt. In my body, you're going to see me bending at the oblique in a position that we call lateral tilt. As my lower body begins to fire, and my upper body is still resisting or pulling back. Now we have this tug of war at the core that completely enables the core to get maximum tension, and thus using the strong muscles around my midsection in order to help power the bat. That is also the same thing that's getting me on plane to attack from underneath the pitch. The hard part isn't necessarily getting a player to start in that posture. The hard part is maintaining it so my bat stays in the hitting zone through an extended period of time. So when you look at me, I get players that they like doing a high T drill because it fits in with their posture and they rotate almost level with the ground. And very rarely am I ever going to have a swing the bat is going to be parallel to the ground. That would be a high pitch up into your chin that I hope you're not swinging at anyway. And even in that case, your hands are going to probably be a little bit higher than the barrel. But the lower the pitch then, if I get to the top of the zone, my hand's definitely above the barrel. And the lower the pitch, you're going to see more tilt. And that shoulder line and the bat line really reflect one another almost parallel with each other. That is not parallel with the ground. So analogy I use when I'm showing players this is I don't want you rotating parallel to the ground. I want you to think you're almost rotating like the earth on its axis. So you can see what I'm doing with my arms here, how I'm attacking underneath the baseball, from below the ball, underneath it, and staying through the zone by maintaining that posture. I prefer having players do this on a low tee, as low as the tee will go, or getting a specially built tee that actually has the ball just knee height or even a little bit under. Forcing players to get into a good lower half setting and then setting their posture to not only attack from underneath the ball, but maintaining posture in order to stay through it. So you'll notice that my torso is going to be leaned in, chin over toes, versus being completely upright with the spine perpendicular to the ground. So that's the difference in an early dropping back shoulder, which we need to keep scapular resistance in order to fire the lower body first. And then we have to get the on-plane tilt with my torso that allows me to stay attacking underneath the ball and staying through it for an extended period of time. The drill I like for that, go to a low T drill. And you're going to find yourself trying to enable the body to get to the correct posture in order to hit the ball in the air and maintain an effective bat path. Until next time, this is Justin Stone, and I'll see you on the field.